This is Jonathan Agger of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Ben Shalom ahead of Liam Smith's return in Liverpool this Saturday against Maquinho, and a stacked undercard. Ben, how are you feeling?
Very good, great to be back. Feels like a new season, ready to go. Massive September for us, starting in Liverpool, best place to be, with a huge card that has everything, and I can't wait. It feels great to be here.
What was the thinking behind the opponent for Liam Smith with Maquinho?
I think there was under no illusions. We wanted the Eubank fight. Obviously, Chris had what he'll see as an easier option, perhaps, for decent money. And we wanted to get Liam Smith out quickly and on the platform. I think we know there's big fights to come. We know there's world titles to come. We know there's potential big British fights to come. But we want him. He's not been on Sky for a long time. We were coming to Liverpool. It's a perfect place for him to headline. We turn it around very, very quickly. And he's fighting a dangerous guy. He's fighting an exciting guy. He's unpredictable. He wasn't even here today, but we know he's coming. I know there's been some rumours about that. But he's got to get through this fight. He is fighting a guy that has punch power. He's fighting a guy that's unbeaten in 10. He is fighting a guy that's knocked out people that we know very well over here. And he's got to be careful. But the idea was get him in a decent fight over here very, very quickly. Get him on Sky. It's going to be a massive audience on Saturday. Massive crowd after the Liverpool derby as well. So it's a perfect place to start.
Did the Eubank Ben fight take you guys a bit by surprise? Because obviously, Liam wanted the fight with Eubank, or he does want that fight with Eubank. And it kind of came left field, Ben against Eubank.
I think we always thought that it was there, but certainly ourselves and Sky always thought that it was a bigger fight if it was allowed to be built and brew, and maybe it wasn't the right time given Eubank was on the cusp of world titles and Conor Benn was just getting to his position. But the fighters will always make the best decisions for themselves and the promoters and things like that. But for us, we saw that potentially as a stadium fight, something that can build. So slightly, it was the timing of it. We didn't expect, but it is what it is, and no one wants to fight Liam Smith. He's shown he's a world level operator time and time again. Incredible fighter to watch for any boxing fan. One of the most intelligent boxers on the circuit. He's coming off probably a Kurbanov win in Russia. Fowler, where he showed he was world level and levels above that level, and then obviously with Vargas as well. And so we feel like we're getting one of the best properties in British boxing, and that means he's not an easy fight for anyone, and that means sometimes the fights are not going to be easy to make because he is that good.
Tasha Jonas in a unification clash on Saturday. Should she win this fight, obviously you've got the Rankin and Harper fight. Do you look at it as though that could be a bigger fight for Tasha against the winner of that with another belt, and say if Harper wins, it's a big rematch, and Rankin is obviously a backstory behind that?
I think this is a tough fight. This is two classy operators, and this is a genuine 154 world champion with Patricia Bergol, who dismantled Hannah Rankin when she fought her, in terms of it was a comfortable win, and that's no disrespect. So it's I know the Gallagher team and Tasha see this as a much tougher fight. They couldn't resist the opportunity. Once Hannah didn't want the fight or went with a different option, this one became available. Bergol was meant to fight Brackhouse. It became available, and it's a WBC belt, and who doesn't want the WBC belt? And it's another challenge, because people were called us crazy if we took this fight 6 months ago for Tasha, because they were criticising us for fighting at 154 in the first place. She did extremely well against Namos. I feel like the challengers always bring the best out of her, but I'm under no illusion to not look beyond this fight. This fight is a real 50-50. This is two very, very high level fighters, and one fighter who's a natural 154 fighter, and Tasha is not. So everything on the line, but it's going to be a fascinating fight.
Just quickly, your pick from the undercard?
Has to be Dan Aziz, Shakan Pitters. I think looking forward to seeing Fraser back out, looking forward to seeing Adam Azim back out, but that fight got a lot of love for both guys. Proper fighters, proper men, proper attitudes, really, really hungry, so much on the line with it. And I love watching Dan fight, and he's fighting a taller guy again. He fought Hosea Burton when he won the British title and did really well, but Shakan Pitters it looks good at the weight, and we know all about him. He's a very, very good fighter, and there's a lot on the line. I think that fans will see that as a 50-50. I think Dan feels very, very confident. but fair play for him to take it, because he didn't have to take it. We didn't force him to take it. He could have gone up and fought. He's at that international level now, but he's a traditional guy. He wants to fight. He wants to fight tough fights, and this is a tough fight, and it's going to be an amazing fight on Saturday.
Just a couple updates quickly. Fury Hunter's obviously back on.
Yeah.
What are we looking at in terms of the undercard?
We hope Ben Whittaker, we hope Fraser Clark. Obviously the Midlands boxing now is rising. You can see superstars coming through. Obviously Galal Yafai with Matchroom, but we have Fraser, we have Ben. We went there last time for Coventry with Dylan Chima and Azim and Eggington, and there's a lot of fights going on there, so expect a big undercard there. I think Vidal Riley, we're looking at that as well. We want him back out, but that'll be a big card. There's a reason we went to Birmingham. There's some superstars we feel that we've got in our stable there, and we want to get going. We want to build Fraser and Ben Whittaker as real stars in the Midlands, and they've not had that for a long time.
A lot of people asking on Twitter, when's the Taylor Catterall rematch announcement? When can we expect that? And there's rumours it could be in Manchester, it could be in Glasgow. Is there anything you can tell us? I'm
hoping before the end of the year. Obviously Jack would love it in Manchester. Josh obviously wants it in Scotland. I'm not too bothered where it happens. It will happen. I'm sure it will happen, because both fighters want it, and when both fighters want to fight, you've seen Josh vacate so many belts now. They both want it. It will happen, and I'm hoping it'll happen before the end of the year.
Final one, we saw a YouTube card on Saturday. A lot of interest online from, I guess, people who are into that kind of thing. Eddie Hearn made comments saying that if this YouTube continues, it puts pressure on promoters like him, yourself, Frank, etc., to deliver big cards. To otherwise, broadcasters, will favour these type of fights instead of sort of proper boxing that we watch. Do you agree with those comments?
It's an interesting point, and I suppose it could be a worry. I think Sky are very committed to British boxing, and we're a sports channel, and we've invested heavily in the tournaments, we've invested heavily in the stable. We come to every part of the country: Liverpool, Bournemouth, Sheffield, Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow. That's what we want to do. We love this sport, we want to grow this sport. There's potential in this sport. We have an all-women's card at the O2 next week. That's where our focus is. Look, KSI, whether he's boxing, playing table tennis or swimming, he's going to do huge numbers, whatever he's doing. It's great that he's doing it in boxing, but I think for everyone that focuses on the sport and cares about the sport, and Sky Sports care about boxing, then we're not just chasing numbers, we're chasing quality boxing, and we want to grow the sport, and that's our focus, and we'll continue to do that, and I hope others will as well.
Ben, appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll catch up next week for Shields Marshall.